Hello, my name is Jovan, and I haven't done a video in a long time. Mainly because the world lost its mind for about a year and a half. So I'm sure we'll all agree on that. And the world's been going through shifts as well as all of us. And I definitely went through, and I'm going through many shifts in a very deep healing process. And through all that, my perspective has been changing. And so I just wanted to be careful about not sharing too much of what I've been experiencing, seeing, or feeling in any definite kind of way, just because, the processing period is a very messy place. And my feeling is that I know how powerful words are, and that they can create ripples of realities through space and time. Words hold much power, and especially if other people are sparked by them, and especially if there's a lot of belief behind them. Words carry a vibration, they carry energy, they carry information, and the world is filled with so much information, misinformation, and just plain information overload. And with that, I believe that it's a true messenger's responsibility to share information that aligns with our truth and is intended for the highest benefit of others. And I try to be mindful of what I speak into existence. I'm sure I fall short, as we all do. I just personally feel like there's so much information right now, and it's a lot of confusion, and people are just trying to figure it all out, that I don't want to add to that mix if I don't feel it's adding value to the collective. I feel I want to be clear and aligned. And it's important for me to be intentional and responsible with what I say. Unless I'm telling dirty jokes. And then, I don't know. All right, with that being said, I just want to say my feeling is that this message that I'm going to be conveying is for all of you beautiful souls who identify as bringers of light. You may be witches, you'll hear healers, or light workers, but especially starseeds. And anyone, though, really is welcome to watch this video if you're open-minded enough to understand that right now the collective consciousness is elevating, waking up, speeding up, expanding, all the good stuff. Things are shifting dramatically as more light on our planet is increasing. We are moving to 5D, the new Earth. So this video is, I'm going to be talking about the light bringers' roles on Gaia, Mother Earth, the power of words and misinformation. And I'm going to focus on a few specific words, which I think are important. And those words are the occult, cult, the Kabbalah, and the Cabal. So for some reason, these concepts that I want to talk about, they all want to come through together to convey a point. And I hope to do a good job to connect them for you. I try to be as linear as I can, though it's not really the way my brain always works, but I hope it's as clear as possible. So I want to share these specific words that have negative connotations attached to them because they may cause some confusion and fearful beliefs. So these words to me stand out a lot in terms of clearing them up. I feel like it's important for us to understand that these words' true meanings are important, and this will help us disentangle ourselves from falsities. We always want to make sure we're coming from a place where the core is truth, and so if we have to weed out what is untrue so that we can come from a place of alignment, I think it's important. In general, following, believing false information and spreading it, or just, adopting it into your life can create more confusion for us. For ourselves and others. So I will keep this video as short and sweet and simple as possible so I don't bore the shit out of you. All right, now, so let's review some of the basics about light workers and starseeds. Basically, the bringers of light, which also includes witches, healers, shamans, and highly spiritually evolved volunteers that have incarnated to help Gaia with the transition. We're here to raise the vibration of the planet while it goes through its awakening. We share this common goal, and then we have our own specific missions. If you're a starseed or a light worker, by default, there is one core thing that we all do the same, and that is that we naturally come online here with a very high frequency of light, and we help to anchor it. We anchor this light onto the physical plane, like osmosis, and not only does it transfer into Gaia, it also spreads and into our atmosphere and environments and the people around us, like osmosis. This alone helps to facilitate the expansion of consciousness. So, yay us. Congratulations, we're already succeeding at our first fundamental mission. But then, of course, some lightworkers and starseeds have more than one mission, or maybe a multi-layered mission. And you will know for sure if that's for you. It's our job to remember what this mission is, by deconditioning and healing ourselves, knowing ourselves, being clear with our truth from the heart, and being in alignment with our vision is very important. And so we spend a lot of time uncovering that so we can manifest in the highest expression of our unique soul signature. That is the goal anyways, so we can bring in our specific mission and accomplish it. Okay, so anyways, within this unique soul signature, we hold our light codes in our crystalline DNA. We incarnate with pre-initiated knowledge from other star systems to share with Gaia and others on the physical realm. So these light codes, they are timeless knowledge. We carry them basically, and it can take us many years to unlock them. It's not an easy process, but it's there. And a lot of this timeless knowledge has already been seeded here on the earth. And it's been taught in the mystery school teachings during the previous golden age before we descended into darkness. So what we're doing is we're helping to remember it. And this is ancient wisdom, meaning that this is not new information and wisdom, right? This is not new age knowledge. New age partakes in the knowledge, but it is not like some new age concepts, okay? What we hold in our blood and memories are ancient cosmic laws of the universe. This is actual energetic spiritual technology that has been seeded in us from other star systems. It's been seeded in our Mother Earth. She has all the same information that all the other planets and star systems have as well. She's part of the cosmic consciousness. But she also carries her own energetic technology, very unique to her landscape and environment. So as we incarnate and we ground, we remember all that information as well, but it's all there anyways. Now, this information was held and practiced in Lemuria and Atlantis. Lemurian and Atlantean lineages are meant to work together and balance the different wisdoms coming through to create a more evolved Gaian structure. Lemurian and Atlantean lineages are meant to work together and balance the different wisdoms and integrate the different wisdoms coming through to create a more evolved Gaian structure. So, when Lemuria and Atlantis had their heyday, they eventually start to decline and become imbalanced because there is just too much of something. It always becomes the other thing, or it just deteriorates, and they eventually fell. But now it's time, with this information that we have that is being remembered and uncovered, it is about bringing together the wisdom of the Lemurians and the Atlanteans to integrate, because we're here to evolve into a civilization we've never experienced before, but on the foundation of what's already been. A lot of the teachings that were preserved were distributed throughout the whole earth, throughout different cultures. Although these cultures are very different, and I'm not negating that at all, it's not about that. It's about, they hold a lot of common spiritual, similar concepts and understandings. It's just with some, of course, some variants and some unique, angles to it too, per the culture. And of course, and it's just a different flavor, but it's a lot of that fundamental knowledge is there. And it was shared freely to all the inhabitants of the earth. It's for all of us. So anyways, as the world continues to evolve and we raise our consciousness, more of these spiritual wisdoms are becoming more widespread and accepted by mainstream society, as we know. Yet there's still more that needs to be remembered, which holds a piece of the puzzle to the universal truth. So the more information we will have. And I mean, you don't have to agree with any of this if it doesn't resonate, but it's just what came through. And I was working with Isis, and I know that there are a lot of light bringers that talk about this as well. We're pretty similar. But anyways, before I expand a little bit more on that, I want to kind of jump to the words again that I mentioned earlier and how they relate or don't relate to each other. So the words are the occult, cult, the Kabbalah, and the Cabal. Okay, the cult, the Kabbalah, and the Cabal. First, let's talk about the word occult. I have a stain on my shirt. I really hate that. Never mind. Don't look at that. Okay. The word occult. It comes from the original Latin word oculare, and that the meaning means to conceal. So the word occult was created in the 16th century, and I'm going to read this. The word occult was created in the 16th century to identify the mystery school teachings dating back way before Christ, back in the Egyptian times, and even still way back beyond that to the Atlantean times. And the mystery school teaching have to do with the spiritual sciences, alchemy, astrology, cosmology, magic, energy healing, etc. All that stuff. So why did they choose a word for this information, this timeless knowledge, that means to hide? Well, quite simply, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but quite simply, it's because of the Spanish Inquisition. Christianity as a movement on all fronts was persecuting any spiritual orders and religions that did not conform to the church. I mean, nobody wants to die, right? So these ancient teachings had to go underground in order to survive. So a simple way to describe mystery schools is as an organization or as an organized group of initiates who have dedicated themselves to preserving, protecting, and perpetuating these spiritual mystery teachings. Throughout the ages, the mystery schools have hidden in plain sight. They have built temples all over the world and provided services both to the public and behind closed doors for only what they would say, for only those who have eyes to see and those who have ears to hear. So these initiates are known as guardians, the protectors, the light bearers, the teachers, the healers, the record keepers, the magicians, and the watchers, among many other names. It's also been uncovered that Jesus and his parents were initiates of these mystery schools themselves. The reason why I bring this up is because it's important to know that these occult teachings were based not only on the laws of energy and the universe, but also universal love. Remember, Jesus did not create Christianity. He preached about love, and he preached mystery school teachings. When he died, the people around him created Christianity. It's also important to know that the New Age movements derive most of their information from these ancient studies. Yes, they do. This movement is interested in mystical knowledge, but it's a very broad movement characterized by alternative approaches to traditional Western culture with an interest in spirituality, mysticism, holism, and environmentalism that is looking forward to a new age, a new earth of enlightenment. I mean, aren't we all? Ugh. Shit's crazy right now. But it's where the term love and light has come from. Some of it's legit and some of it can be questionable, yes. This is not to knock New Age completely, but this is where the charlatans and the fake woo-woo people can hang out and can form cults. But everything every group, every organization is going to have some wackadoos, okay? You cannot judge things for that, right? So, but anyways, that's why it's important to educate ourselves and kind of, the New Age has a lot of great information and it's a great community, and it's just important, when you're exposed to things, to educate yourself and make sure you run it through your inner guidance system to see if it resonates, and then if it doesn't, move right along. But a lot of the core concepts and beliefs are from this timeless wisdom that was seated on the earth. So back to the word occult. Again, the reason why the word occult carries such a stigma is first, well, it's because it means secret. It's not common knowledge, though it is now accessible to all, might I add. But overall, it's not common knowledge. And, let's put it simply, when something's a secret and people know there's a secret but they don't know what the secret is, it creates intrigue and it allows room for others to form opinions and assumptions and then gossip about it, right? It's human nature. So there's this whole mystique around it. It also doesn't help when these types of teachings of love and returning back to our divinity are the enemy of power-hungry forces and greedy mother freakers who twist the truth to the masses, that invert and corrupt the purity of the knowledge for their own personal agendas. But that's a whole other video that I'm not going to get into right now. Also, another stigma with the word occult is because, just quite simply, it sounds very much like the word cult, which also carries negative connotations. So it kind of creates like a creepy word association. So what's the definition of the word cult? It literally means worship, a system of worship. The definition is means it's a great devotion to a person, idea, object, or movement, and it's short for culture. So the cult etymology is from the word colere, and then it developed into cultus, which originated in the 17th century, which was 100 years after the word occult. The thing is that in the 1970s and 80s, the word cult popped up again and took a negative turn due to weird religious and weird spiritual groups that were popping up. And, after the 60s and stuff like that, like the very notorious, heinous Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid Gang, it was a very dark turn. So the meaning of cult has evolved. And since the word closely resembles occult, people subconsciously connect these words and assume that they have some sinister meaning. Okay, so now let's talk about the Kabbalah. What is the Kabbalah? Okay, well, the Kabbalah, it's spelled Kabballah, and it's an ancient Jewish tradition of mystical interpretation of the Bible. And I'm reading, what it's saying. The Kabbalah is an esoteric method, discipline, and school of thought in Jewish mysticism. And to put it in a nutshell, the basic fundamental teaching underneath the laws that it speaks of is that God is love, and our job is to receive this love in joy and gratitude. And I have started studying the basics of the Jewish Kabbalah, and I'm telling you, there is nothing sinister in there whatsoever at all. Okay, so now the word Cabal. That one is spelled Cabal. And some of you may or may not know what the Cabal is. So I will explain it, also in a nutshell, without going into the rabbit hole. The Cabal has been identified as a group of people who are united in some purpose, usually to promote their private views or interests in an ideology, a state, or another community, often by intrigue, and usually unbeknownst to those who are outside their group, usually for a political purpose, secrecy, or conspiracy. It's basically a secret society. It's also known as deep state. And many who know about deep state believe that these are the real people behind the scenes that hold all the political power in the world and are driven by corruption, greed, and allegedly satanic practices. Very different than what the Cabal is. The Cabal is not the Kabbalah. The Cabal is not the Kabbalah. Please be clear on that. The words sound similar, but the Cabal is supposed to be it's actually supposed to be an acronym for the names of the 5 founders of the group, the ministers that originated in Britain under King Charles to incite a war with the Netherlands, and it probably grew from there. Okay, so now it is very possible that the word Cabal has a double meaning, which is maybe both the acronym and then also maybe the bastardization of the Hermetic Kabbalah, which is a whole other story, but I will say that Hermeticism is also a mystery school and deals with the energetic laws of the universe. Anyways, it's possible these teachings were inverted for selfish means. Therefore, the name could have been shortened to Cabal because it is taking away from the original meanings and intentions and inverting them. So it would not use the whole word, just Cabal instead of Kabbalah. But again, it's not the Kabbalah's truest form. The Kabbalah and the Hermetic Kabbalah are systems of information dealing with cosmic laws, God's love, and the energy for the purpose of connecting to our highest divine nature. This information is not inherently good or evil, it just is. But it's inherently good. What people do with that information is their own free will. And that free will choice determines whether it's perceived as good or bad. Again, another video for the day. There could be much to be said about everything I've mentioned, but I already feel like this video is really long. That's why I'm talking so fast. Because I think it's important and I want to hold your attention. We all got things to do, right? I'm just hoping, though, it is enough to clear up some confusion, which has led to many assumptions. And I have heard others who claim to be woke to paint a negative picture of these things that they obviously don't understand. Sorry. So I'm just here trying to be helpful. It's just good to know that what we're talking about, and if we're to remember why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing for the planet and our society. Again, actually, I do want to stress this point. The hidden knowledge that I've been talking about is not inherently bad. Not only that, it's our foundation for a lot of our spiritual teachings around the world, especially in the Western. And it's been lost. And of course, it's been stolen for power throughout the ages. And, well, there's a lot of confusion surrounding this, but regardless, this information runs through our blood and the collective unconscious, through all humans. It's our birthright to have this information. We are of the earth. We are not separate. So we are sharing all of this energetic frequencies, the energetic imprints, the light codes are all flowing between us. It's just that a lot of humans haven't woken up yet because it's not encouraged. And so, because these ancient technologies aren't taught in the mainstream, and most regular people aren't out there looking to find it, they're not interested or they don't understand it. So it has been largely forgotten or just confused with other things. And so I don't know. Most people are not trying to dig deep when they're mainly focused on surviving this patriarchal elitist system. And sometimes you can't blame that. Can't blame them. Let's not forget how many centuries groups of people have been demonized and persecuted for their spiritual and religious beliefs. And we've been in the dark ages way longer than the historians are giving it credit. We're just barely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel as we continue to break on through to the other side. So just want to point out, we're all waking up. A lot of the spiritual, mystical things we're learning are rooted in the what? The occult teachings. which will one day no longer be the occult because we are breaking it wide open a little bit at a time. Star seeds and light workers are incarnating with enough light to anchor in and raise the vibration so that this wisdom can resurface in a safer, more refined environment. So as we break apart the patriarchal system, we are creating space for this wisdom, love, and light to come in through our lit up crystalline DNA so that it's more easily acceptable and accepted by the masses. But it is definitely not easy when dealing with global trauma. There's the challenge. But as the bearers of light, the bringers of light, when we do our healing and clearing, we are allowing space for the remembering and what we already hold within us. Again, we are stardust, therefore we carry the same elements as the cosmos. Earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Therefore, the same light codes. We can actually access it and remember those timeless cosmic technologies and history. It is possible. And we are to reintroduce it back into the physical realm and spread it till it's common knowledge. So it's just like, kind of like a process of just bringing more and more of it out in the open little by little. It no longer can be kept a secret. It can no longer be occult. And yeah, we're breaking the sucker right open from the cosmos and the earth. So yeah, we are one. And with that being said, as we are one and connected, we also carry our own unique soul signature that is specifically for our unique purpose. And for allowing our most authentic expression to shine through, allows us to reach our highest expression of our purpose, both individually and collectively. So part of that healing is to clear up the confusion or the untruths, to reveal the highest expression, individually and collectively. Because remember, words are power. So words manifest worlds. And they create ripples of reality in the space-time continuum. They carry vibrations, they carry energy, they carry information. The world is filled with so much information, right? What I was saying before, from misinformation to information overload. And as star seeds especially, and light workers especially, we're here to bring more light, more wisdom, more awareness, more love in order to expand consciousness. If we want to do that in our highest expression, then we need to make sure that what we are talking about is based in truth. Anyways, I just hope that this all made sense. But I think that's all I want to say for now. Yeah, and I will be doing another video very soon about an experience I had with one of my galactic guides that talks about the importance of sovereignty, which was a pretty interesting experience. And it took me a while to decide to come out with talking about that. So that will be happening soon, and I think it's really cool, valuable information. So anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. If you got through all of it, sending you so much love, light, and many blessings. Please comment below or DM if this resonates. Or if you have any questions or you want to comment or add anything, I would love to hear what you have to say. Thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Sending so many blessings your way. Bye.